Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Now, the last week or so has been a little bit weird for myself because I've been under embargo for this watch. And the reason that's been really weird is because I want to tell everybody about it and show you all how fantastic it is. But I really also want to work with this brand again, so I've stuck to the embargo and I'm just really glad that I can now release this video. I've recorded this like a week early. Yeah, I've loved this watch. It's fantastic, and it's one that's really close to myself in a sentimental way, in the cause that it supports. It is a collaboration with the Royal British Legion, and as some of you may remember, my little brother actually serves in the British military. Insert embarrassing picture here. I'm really sorry, Rob. Corporal Rob, I guess. He'd kill me if he saw this, so it's a really good job that he doesn't watch the channel. If any of you know him, don't bloody show him that. My life is on the line there. This has been sent to me by Avi-8 and it is released on the 31st of March. Do keep in mind that this is one that I do get to keep. Therefore, this is what you would call a sponsored video. However, it's a completely impartial review and Avi-8 have had no say in what I say in this video. Thank you to them for sending it in. I've loved it. I really have. Let me just... I'm going to start this video by showing you this unboxing experience because it was absolutely incredible. As soon as I saw the box and then slid it out, and we had this little fabric case which reminded me so much of the Omega Speedmaster that I bought for myself in the first year of this channel. Yeah, it really just hit home with the unboxing experience level of this piece, and I think everyone that orders one of these is going to absolutely love unboxing it. It's going to be an experience for each and every one of you, so thank you to Avi-8 for letting me also go through that. It also includes a tool, a NATO strap, and obviously the watch itself, all very nicely packaged away in an almost display case type of manner. Right, with that out of the way, let me turn this camera around and let's review this watch. Gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to the Avi-8 Flyboy Royal British Legion Tri-Service Chronograph. I know it's a mouthful, but this Flyboy is absolutely spectacular. It's a very, very special watch, and it is part of a collaboration that has already raised £50,000 for the Royal British Legion. Honestly, I really do think it's a fantastic cause, and I am absolutely ecstatic to be able to be involved in the release of this piece. Now, let's talk about the watch itself. This will be released on the 31st of March. There has already been a preliminary campaign to supporters of Avi-8. If you wanted to pick it up, it'd be $350. £370 or €400 depending on your location. Make sure you check the website yourself. From that sale, £15 will go directly to the RBL. The watch itself is built in 316L stainless steel. I have already shown you the unboxing experience, which really was an absolute pleasure for myself. And it's not very often that I show an unboxing experience, but that one was just something a little bit special, and I feel like that's what you're going to get if you order one of these watches. Something a little bit special, a very nice and particularly pleasing moment opening up your version of this. There's only going to be 500 of these made, which completes the limited run or the limited edition run. It's packed with a VK67 movement, which is Japanese mecha quartz from Seiko. You will all be very familiar with the VK series now on the channel. It's one of my preferred movements for a chronograph that is at a budget price. I think that it really does offer so much more than some other chronograph quartz movements. Obviously, the accuracy is something that is very needed in a military watch, as it's taken away there, that nice little automatic style sweep, click, and a mechanical click back. Now, it's nice to see them using this movement because Seiko do actually, or were in the 80s, one of the providers for the British military with their 7S28 movement, I believe. I probably got that wrong. I am very sorry if I did, but I think that's right. The watch itself does have some very universal fitting dimensions. It is 41.8 millimeters in diameter on my calipers, 12.8 millimeters thick, that's including the case back and the bezel, 48.6 millimeters lug to lug, which fits nicely within that 50 millimeter range that I really do look for. And these lugs are 20 mil. Now, there's an option with this piece for the NATO strap that is in the box. You will have seen that in the unboxing, but for me, I think that this is more of a special occasion wear, and that's why I've kept it with the leather band that it was supplied on. Lovely, lovely leather band on this piece. There's a fantastic level of finishing throughout the casing, and honestly, I did expect that from Avi-8, and that's because of the group that they are part of. They also house brands like Spinnaker, and I have had experience with them before, and the quality of them, the finishing quality at the very least, is always really, really well done. As you can see through the casing itself, we do have mixture of brushing and polishing, a nice chamfered edge along the lugs, a really nice high polish bezel, which seeps into a brushed tone either side. It's a really nice piece. It's definitely a very premium look to this one. Piston style pushers activate the chronograph itself. I really do like that design, that incorporation. We have a non-screw down crown. This is actually part of the limited edition theme, the 2-petal poppy, which is a signature of the Royal British Legion. As well as that, you can see that does flow throughout the design of the watch, and we will get to the rest of that poppy theme throughout this video. Another nice touch from them is that this is a inner rotating bezel. It adds another dimension to this piece. It is bidirectional. It is not a click bezel, which a slight shame that it's not a click bezel. However, it is very well fitted, and it does feel quite precise. You can see that this is also signed. They haven't cut any corners on this watch, and that's what I really do love about it. That they really, it's well thought out. It's well executed beyond that, and it really does serve to the purpose of a limited edition run from Avi-8, which, yeah, they've done well. They really have. Screw down case back on here with the Royal British Legion logo engraved. We do have the number there. My one is actually 0 of 500, and that's because it is a sample piece. Obviously, the rest will be numbered. Usual information around the outer edge. We have AR coating on this crystal, which does really aid in the visibility of that dial and the aesthetic of the dial, as well as that on top of it. There is a very slight dome to the crystal also, which is worth noting. Altogether, this casing provides the watch with 50 meters of water resistance. Now, with this being a aviation style chronograph, I think they can get away with that. Obviously, not something that's designed for water wear, so keep that in mind. As we move into the dial itself, that's really the feature piece of this watch. And honestly, it blew me away when I opened this package, especially with the depth that they've achieved with the applied numerals around the outer edge. Those applied Arabic numerals are absolutely fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. The texture to the dial is something else, and that 2-petal poppy design flowing through the dial itself is again another amazing touch to the piece, and really does distinguish it from other Flyboys on the market. This is a cutaway dial, which means that it is a step above the lower dial. Again, gives a nice level of depth to those sub-dials. Up at this 6 o'clock, we have the 60-minute sub-dial, and we have the 12-hour dial over to the 9 o'clock. Down at the bottom, you can see that ticking second hand, which is a feature of the VK series. They do have a date window on this one. It is very well colour matched to the dial, and it does have a subtle tone to it, with it being colour matched to that dial. I think they've done really well with that choice. The Avi-8 logo to the 3 o'clock side with Mecha Quartz beneath it, and we have limited edition either side of the 6 o'clock, which is nice to see. The dial is surrounded by a printed minute track and applied indices throughout that minute track, and that is again surrounded by the inner rotating bezel to this piece, which again I think is a very lovely touch. Now, this piece is available in 4 different coloured options. They all have their own unique name. This piece is the Portsmouth, obviously suits the military vibe to this watch. The block sword style handset on this one is simple, yet does its job. It reaches to the outer edge of the dial, and the hour hand is also well fitted to it. Now, these are loomed, as is the rest of the dial itself, and I think that you'll be really pleased with this loom when you see it, if it lives up to expectation, that is. There's an hour head chronograph hand which completes the handset, and it has a lovely yellow tip to it, which aesthetically does play very nicely with the markings on the inner rotating bezel. I think really there's nothing left for me to do but to get these lights out and show you the loom shot on this one. And here we have it, and I've got to say it does really live up to expectation. Every element is loomed, which is very important for this chronograph. I'm just going to start the chronograph hand so you can see that. Even down to the subdials, which you do not see on many other pieces, especially around this type of budget. Hour and minute hand, well loomed. Indices or numerals on the indices are very well loomed. What I really do like is that they have a more subtle loom on that 2-petal poppy design throughout the dial. I really love that they've loomed that. I think that really does set this loom signature apart from any other on the market. And they haven't even cheaped out on the rest of it. Is Swiss Super Luminova, which is nice to see that they've gone to that length on this piece. Honestly, I think that this is fantastic. I genuinely think I've got to give this a 10, just for how elaborate the loom is on this piece and how well it plays into the actual design and the idea behind this piece. They've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Well done, Avi-8. Now, as we move on to this leather band, you can see that is a very nice quality leather attached to this one. Genuine leather from Avi-8. Nice to see, what I expect. And a real nice touch to it is the level of stitching throughout the band itself. It is a molded side, as you'd probably expect. Also, the keepers are well sized to the band itself. We have the Avi-8 logo on this brushed buckle. Again, really nice aesthetic to that. One thing that I will mention is that I do wear this on the tightest setting, as we segue nicely into this wrist shot. So I wouldn't really advise it for anyone under the 6 1/4 inch wrist mark. It looks fantastic on wrist, doesn't it? It really does serve a fantastic purpose. Yeah. Honestly, I was blown away with this piece. More honestly with you, I was absolutely ecstatic to be involved with the release of it. It sounds sad, but it's a bit of an honour, to be honest, especially with the connotations that go with the charity that are involved with this watch itself. I think that it's really nice to see, and I've enjoyed every second of having this in for review. I do have some moans that I'm going to shadow that with, however, subject, I guess, and my job is, my purpose here is to give a review to you guys, to advise you as consumers. So obviously I've treated this exactly the same as any other watch that has come in. Now, the inner rotating bezel isn't the easiest to get hold of. Well, the crown isn't the easiest to get hold of. I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a bigger size to that crown. I really like the crown on the other side, actually. It's really nice how that's done, and it could have been better to this side, I believe, in my personal opinion. Unfortunately, this is only packed with a mineral crystal, and that was really my only actual negative downside. Like, why have you done that type of moan for this piece? And it is a little bit of a letdown that it isn't sapphire. However, we can let them off, I guess. I mean, Seiko packed their watches with Hardlex, which is pretty much the exact same, so around the same price too. It would have been nice to have had the sapphire crystal, obviously. Another thing to mention is that for some people this may be a little bit of a busy dial. I think that it really does bring home a military aviation type of look. with the numerals, etc. Even a slightly IWC type of aesthetic to it. But for some people with the poppies on the dial, that will be a little bit busy. Personally, I love it. That being said, that's my moan section completed. I absolutely love this watch, and I've got to say thank you to Avi-8 for letting me be a part of this. I've said it before, but yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I'm trying to figure out how many times I can thank and compliment Avi-8 in this video without them thinking that I'm some sort of creepy stalker. I don't care. I'm going to be that weird, creepy stalker for them now. Because honestly, I loved this watch. As I keep saying, loved it. Every moment of it being on wrist. Everyone that I showed it to, all the little small, almost Easter eggs in the dial with those little 2-leaf or 2-petal poppies. Yeah, it's fantastic. And that Lume shot really did bring it all together for me. If you're going to order one of these, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think of it. And again, yeah, I'm going to say it again. Thank you to Avi-8 for sending me this one in. I absolutely love it. Their website is linked in the description. Go and have a look, guys. Even if it's not this one that you're interested in, have a look at their other pieces. They do offer some really fantastic value on the market. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And remember, I do have my online store linked in the description. You can pick up some fantastic bargains there, 10% off with JTWG10. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.